Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today is August 8th, 2025, and so it is the 8-8 portal, the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate opens around the 29th of July, uh, and its peak energy is at the 8-8 portal, which is today. It is when the star Sirius rises in the eastern sky. Um, and it is always a powerful and potent time. Of course, 8 is a vibration of the connection between spirit and earth, the manifested world. And we'll take a look at the numerology. We'll take a look at the astrology today, and then I'll be doing a card reading on the 8-8 portal. This is generally what I do each month. Now, last month on the 7-7 portal, I did a card reading, but it was also the day that Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini. It's also the day that here in the United States, the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, stated that there was nothing to see in the Epstein files, and that the case was closed. Of course, that created its own explosion. Uranus moved into Gemini that day. Gemini is information. Gemini can also be propaganda. Gemini is two sides of something. So now we're in the 8-8 portal. We still have Uranus and Gemini, of course, because it just moved in last month. Um, and it is the only transpersonal planet that is not retrograde. Pluto is retrograde. Neptune is retrograde. Those are transpersonal. Saturn, which is a social planet, is retrograde. So, and Mercury actually in Leo is retrograde at the time of this portal. Mercury is information, right? But when it moves retrograde, we have to look within for the answers. And the answers lie within our own heart because Leo rules the heart. Okay, so let's jump into what I want to share with you, and then we'll get to the card reading. I do know that many of you are pretty much just interested in the card reading. So let me set myself up here. Okay, guys. So one of the things that I like to do when I do these presentations is to present a vision or a picture. And what I would suggest at this point is just look at this, what's in front of you, okay? Just what kind of energy do you get off of it? Because when I do set these things up, the energy is also within the picture. On the right-hand side, we have the Tree of Life. We have the card associated with the 8-8 portal this year. 8 plus 8 is 16, and we're in a 9 universal year. And so the vibration for the day at the time of this 8-8 portal is a 25-7. 7 is the vibration of know thyself. The 25, 2 is about service and balance. 5 is about action. So acting on your service and your understanding of yourself. 7. It is associated with the Knight of Wands in the tarot. This is the Thoth Knight of Wands. Very dynamic, very fiery, of course. We're dealing with the element of fire. In fact, it is located on the Tree of Life, right in the center of the tree in a place called Tiphereth. Tiphereth is the Sephiroth of the sun. And what do we have the sun in today? Leo. And is that a powerful position for the sun? You bet it is. Leo is ruled by the sun, and it's always a powerful time. Leo is a sign of the leader, of the ruler, of creative self-expression. It can also be a sign associated with the eternal child, the child that never quite grows up. If you have Leo in your chart prominently, you probably can relate to that. The knights are considered heir of fire, All the knights are air, and the element that this knight holds is fire. So it's air of fire. And the Knight of Wands is associated with the season of spring. The knights in the tarot are connected to the seasons. So that spring energy, that new beginning energy. And we have a lot of fire in this chart. Um, what I have here on the right is where all the planets are. So we have the sun in fire, we have Mercury in fire, we have Saturn in fire, we have Neptune in fire. We also have quite a bit of air. We have Pluto in air, we have Mars in air, and we have the moon in air today. And also whatever's opposite the sun, this is the earth on the tree of life, that is also in air. And we have some, oh, and of course, how can we forget? Uranus is in air, okay? And Uranus today is making a trine to Mars. We'll see that in the chart. What I have here are the aspects. Now, this is the Sephiroth of Saturn. In the chart today, we're going to see Saturn is opposite the sun. That is that, along with this trine between Uranus, which is in Gemini right now, and Mars, which just moved into Libra, are also exactly trine each other today. Tomorrow, we're going to have an exact opposition between Neptune in Aries and no, that's not right. Neptune in Aries and Saturn. Okay, so this belongs here. Saturn. Nope, not Saturn. That's conjunct. Mars. Mars is going to be opposite. Okay, right here. All right, I have to fix that. Okay. So the Knight of Wands acts on his beliefs. All knights express their element. Fire, in this case, the wands, right? Through action. So this is a very action-oriented energy. So what are you acting on? Well, you're acting on your beliefs. You're acting on your creative urge, right? The sun, where this card sits in Tippereth, is in Leo. You're acting from the fire that burns within your heart. Why do I say that? Because Tippereth is connected to the heart chakra. It is in the center of the tree. And of course, Leo, astrologically, is associated with the heart as well. Tippereth, the Sephiroth of the sun. The sun is in Leo. The sun in Leo is approaching its opposition to the moon, which is exact August 9th, actually, early in the morning, with the sun at 17 degrees of Leo, and then the moon will be at 17 degrees of Aquarius. The Sabian symbol for the sun, where the vibration sits on this 8-8 portal, is a dedication to a collective ideal, using the voice to create sacred harmony, communion, devotion, and connectedness. Now, that is self-explanatory as far as I can tell, but also take note that we are in an 8-month, right? The 8-8 portal. So we could do 8-8 here. This energetically is the throat chakra. And so the throat chakra is all about communicating. The throat chakra is all about our connectedness to our own divine will, our own higher self, our own connection to spirit. The throat chakra is where spirit speaks through us. In the story of Mary, when the angel came to announce that she would be the mother of the Savior, the mother of Jesus, the mother of the God, I guess. She pretty much said, whatever is the will of the Father or the divine or the Spirit, whatever the will of the Spirit is, I align with the will of the Spirit, and that happens in the throat chakra. It also depends on what we say, right? And so we have to be extraordinarily careful today about the things that we say and how we express ourselves, because how we express ourselves becomes our reality, okay? Becomes our reality. All right, let me go on to the chart now. So what I've done here is I've put two charts. These are both for Washington, D.C. The one on the left is the 8:08 a.m. and the one on the right is the 8:08 p.m. And I want you to notice that we have a five-pointed star in this chart on, both sides. I mean, it's five pointed in both ways. In the morning, Uranus is up here at the top of the chart. The top of the charts, Uranus. Remember, Uranus is the only of the transpersonal planets that is direct. And so what I've done is I wanted to look at the Sabian symbol for that. I always like to look at the Sabian symbol for the prominent sort of singular, if something sticks out specifically, and of course, Uranus in Gemini does. And it was also the introduction through the 7-7 portal. So that's also sort of connected. The portals do connect to each other. So we have Uranus at 2 degrees of Gemini, and the Sabian symbol is spiritual blessings, a childlike openness to the possibility of wonders brings unexpected gifts as through from a magical source, belief in the universality of abundance. If there is a way, if there is a possibility, if there is a state of mind that we need to have in this portal, is one of the belief in the universality of abundance. There is enough for everyone. There is enough for everyone. It is the systems that prevent people from having enough. And then the system upholds those who have it all at the suffering of those who do not have. And the people at the bottom of the rung, women and children, generally brown women and children, generally in faraway countries, but sometimes right here at home, bear the brunt and the burden of this. It is time for that to stop. It is time for that to stop. There is a powerful feminine energy rising at this time. And so we will move with it. In fact, the north node of the moon, which is the direction of our destiny, is asking us to move in the direction of Pisces. Pisces is about compassion. Now, there are aspect patterns in this chart that I want to take a look at. Now, I think what I'll do is just go to the next one. Now, this is also the 8/8 portal, and I did it for 8:08 p.m. And I just wanted it to be, oops, sorry, I just wanted it to be a bit bigger so you could see what I'm talking about. So first of all, uh, the other day, Mars moved on the 6th, Mars moved into Libra. When it moved into Libra, it it made this kite. Now let me see if I can find my cursor. Oh, here's my cursor. So we have a grand trine. The grand trine is in air with Uranus direct, Pluto retrograde, and Mars. This is a very powerful trine. Okay, it's very close. It's very powerful because it's made up of two of the transpersonal planets that are the engines of our evolution, Uranus, the Great Awakener, and Pluto, the World Soul, in a flowing aspect to Mars, the activator, in the sign of war and peace. Libra is known as the peacemaker, but it also is a sign associated with war. It's also a sign associated with the law, the law. Um, and so that in itself, if it was just that in the sky, it could be going on in the background and we might not see it manifesting in the outer world. But we do have, instead of this just being a grand trine, it is a kite. And it's a kite to another of the transpersonal planets, Neptune, which is retrograde, and Saturn, which is the planet of the structure of our consciousness. And so Mars is opposing Saturn. That is exact today on the portal. it will oppose Neptune tomorrow, exactly on the day of the full moon. Here's the sun in Leo at 17 degrees, and here's the moon coming closer and closer to the opposition to the sun, which will be exact tomorrow on the 9th. At 17 degrees, the moon will be at 17 degrees of Aquarius. If you're interested in the Sabian symbol for that, or a discussion of that full moon, you can check out. I did a moonshine episode with Ona from Ona's Tarot. It is on her channel, so you can check out moonshine, new moon, full moon in Aquarius on Ona's Tarot, just to get a little bit more specifics on that particular chart. Okay, so we have, and so Saturn and Neptune are making a sextile to Uranus. They're making a sextile to Pluto, and they're opposing this Mars. This is called a kite. And people who have kites in their chart are very active and get a lot done. So there's a lot of potential for getting some good work done. Now, it's not the only kite in this configuration, because if you look here, we have a sextile here, and that's between Uranus and Mercury, which happens to be retrograde. And in point of fact, at this point is pretty much standing still at the 5th degree of Leo, because on the 11th, it's going to turn around and start to move forward. So it's not quite stationary. It's still moving backwards, but very, very gradually moving backwards. And it will stop and start to go forward. Now, when I say move backwards, start and stop, go forward, it doesn't actually do that astronomically. It's just from our perspective on Earth, that it's because we're observing from our perspective on Earth. So we have this sextile between Uranus, which is the higher mind, and Mercury, which is the lower mind. And it is an opening sextile. So it's opening the lines of communication with your own higher self. And then we have a sextile here between Mercury and Mars. This sextile actually is in orb already and will actually make two exact sextiles over a 4-day period. And so instead of it just being like a few days as it approaches its exact sextile, which at this point will be let me see, when's the exact sextile, I think, happens on the 12th, and then it happens again on the 16th. So we have a sextile between Mars, the planet of action, in the sign of peace, war and peace, and Mercury in the sign of the leader or the inspiration or the king in some cases, right? So we have that. And what that does, and then we have Mercury opposing Pluto. And we have another kite. It's a little bit harder to see, but we have another kite. In fact, I think I have it highlighted here, right here. Here's the kite, right here, there. And then where's the opposition? The opposition is here. There's the so this grand trine in air connects to creates two kites in the sky. One in air, fire. Let's see, what is it? Excuse me, let me go here. Oops, wrong direction. Sorry, guys. Let's try again, Skirbo. Okay. Air, right? The grand trine in air, bringing in the fire here, bringing in the fire here. So it's air and fire. And what is the 25/7? But it is the air of fire. And so this is an incredible opening for inspiration. This is one of the most inspiring opportunities that we're going to have. And then tomorrow with the full moon, we become aware of something more fully. And Leo is the sun, Leo is the leader, and Aquarius, the moon, is the people and equality for the people. So we're coming up to a real point of awareness and a great awakening as the people who are leading society are now in full view of who they truly are and whether or not we want to continue in that vein. And I can tell you from what I know in my own heart, and this is a heart thing, right? We're in Tippereth, we're in the heart chakra. The world that is being shown to me on media and who's the president and what's going on in other countries and these decrepit old fascist oligarchic power over fatherland. I'm in charge. You don't have the rights to yourself. I can do whatever I want to do with you to please the mat and please the man. That is done in my view of reality, in my vision for the future. That is not the vision that I hold. I hold an Aquarian vision. I hold a vision where we can speak to each other and we can listen to each other and we can mend the fences and we can heal the wounds and we can walk in the moccasins of others unlike us to realize just how like us they are. All right, so let me stop this and I will do the card reading. I'm going to be using the Astro Matrix deck, and let's see what the 8-8 portal has to say through the cards. All right. Spirit portal, what is the message? What is the message? I'm also going to pull a oracle card as well, but we'll do the card first. I do shuffle until it feels right. It doesn't feel right yet, so it's going to maybe take a few more shuffles. It's not very scientific. I go by feel, but you do it the way you do you, boo, as they say. Okay. We start with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the queen who has been able to free herself from over sentimentality. This is about seeing things clearly and making a judgment on it. We can see here that she has a butterfly on her throne that is symbolic of her own rebirth. The queens are all located in Bina. Bina is the place of the divine feminine. It is that Sephiroth on the tree of life, the black one. It is connected to the planet Saturn. And of course, Saturn is part of the Kite formation. Saturn at 2 degrees um, 2 degrees of Aries is the 2 degrees of Aries. I believe the symbol is a comedian. And it's about using our human foibles to not take ourselves too seriously. So, but the Queen of Swords holds the sword of justice, and her sword is straight up and down, which means that she's very fair. But once the cord is cut, the cord is cut. You also see that she has some storm clouds in the background, but her vision, she sees above the storm. She sees to the truth of the matter. And so the truth is being revealed to us at this portal. What is challenging that? Strength. This is the Leo card. This is the card for the month vibration of August. The challenge is strength. are we strong enough to see the truth? Are we strong enough to see the truth? I definitely think so. Underneath it all, the Two of Cups. This is the root of the issue. The root of the issue is about coming together, standing face to face as equals, bringing the energy of passion and love up to its highest expression. That's what the Caduceus is with the wings, right? Bringing love to its highest vibration, the vibration of compassion. So the the portal is saying you must stand face to face in compassion with your fellow person, your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow human. In the past, we have the Knight of Swords. This is fighting for what you believe in, but it's also creating a lot of chaos. This is the storm. The storm has come, but it is in the past. This card is often associated with people who jump into things too quickly, but without thinking of the consequences. In the sky, we have the Two of Pentacles. This is suggestion from Spirit. Spirit says you must balance your physical body. You must balance your finances. Despite the fact that we have the storm brewing behind us, it is important that we focus on balance. And we can see that in this card, the balance point, the center point of the sort of uh, infinity symbol here is actually located in her high heart. Your high heart is located between your throat chakra and your heart chakra. It's right here. It's called the high heart. And so it really is about coming from that place. She also has a yin yang symbol around her neck. Okay, that is the balance between the masculine and the feminine. In the immediate future, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This says, tend to your garden, tend to your garden. Either literally go into your garden and tend to it, or you want to make sure you're nurturing the things that are going to feed you. You're nurturing the things that are going to sustain you, the values that sustain you, the actions that sustain you, the kind of work that you do that sustains you. It's interesting that we kind of have this, what looks like maybe a migrant farm worker here, right? And so we need to take care of our fellow human beings, whether they're citizens or not. It doesn't matter. It's not about citizenship. It's about humanity and humanship. Humanship. I made that up. How it's seen from the outside, that we're being offered things that we're ignoring. So if you are ignoring, if you're too busy and too involved in what's wrong with the world, you don't get to see the opportunities that in this case are right in front of you. This woman is closed down. She's got her hands crossed over her solar plexus. She has her eyes closed. She's probably listening to her music because she doesn't want to look at the reality that's in front of her. And yet we need to do that because, and interestingly enough, the cups in the front, the reality in front of her are empty. The cup that's being offered by Spirit is the cup of love. It's the Ace of Cups. It's happiness, right? Is full, and she has her eyes closed to it. So Spirit wants you to know that if you feel like there's no way out, or that there's no way this is going to work, or any of that sort of negative Nelly stuff, it's a choice you're making because you're not opening your eyes to the possibilities and the opportunities that are being offered to you. And a lot of times, those opportunities don't seem like opportunities at the time. So, as most of us who are old enough to have some life behind us or under our belt, so to speak, or in some cases over our belt, but that's another story for another day. We know that the most challenging times in our life will oftentimes end up being what propels us to our true joy and our true happiness. So, That is the way of, that's the way it works on planet Earth. Our domestic situation, here we have somebody coming into the town, holding a pentacle, moving rather slowly. Um, this is, I guess what I want to say is this card says invest in your community. Bring your talents forward and bring them and share them with others. That's what this card looks like to me. You also have to be protective of what you have created. So there's a need not just to share what you have, but to keep it close to you and protect it and share it with those who it's going to help and not just willy-nilly pearls before swine. Let's see the hopes and fears for shared distribution of resources. As I said, there is enough for everyone. It's time to share the resources. This in my system that I use with the Kabbalah is an 11 vibration. It's a 7411. And it is about knowing yourself and being willing to be out there to fight for those who need the help. And the outcome, illumination. A breaking down of the walls, a breaking down of the facades. The tower says you must be who you truly are, and you are spirit. You must know yourself. It is time to realize how powerful you really are. And sometimes that happens because the things that we think make us powerful fall away, and we find out who the true person in the center is. This is also a 7. This is a 7-day as well. This is another 7, the 16-7. This is the soul vibration of Donald Trump. And so it is very possible, not to make this political in any way, that there is a tower moment coming at this time. Okay. Underneath it, underneath all of this is justice. Justice is coming. This is Mars in Libra, right? Justice. There's the sword. That's the sword that the queen holds. This is the same sword. Oops, sorry. The same sword. We started with the Queen of Swords, the feminine, the goddess. This is Bina. Bina is the place of the divine feminine. The feminine is coming. Justice is being served. The magician, as above, so below. This is about focused intention. And the chariot, progress. This is it, guys. This is it. This is our opportunity if we allow ourselves to open our eyes to what we're seeing, not ignoring it, looking at it dead straight in the eye, and then looking around for the gift and taking the gift and drinking from the cup of love and healing the hurt, interconnecting with your neighbor, black and white, male and female, red and blue, right? Non-binary, trans, hetero, homo. I don't know. I don't even know all the words. It doesn't matter. We're all human beings. How we choose to love and how we choose to live our lives, assuming we're not hurting anybody else, matters. It matters. It matters to us, but it doesn't need to be the thing that we get judged by. We are all human. We're all having these human experiences. And spirit is reminding us that we are also spirit. It's going to be a wild couple of days. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that. I just want to make a quick announcement. Mystic Sisters this week is going to be tomorrow night, Saturday, the night of the full moon. And it's going to start at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So it's starting a little later than it usually does. And for those of you who are going to be taking my class with Susan Lynn on numerology, I'm really looking forward to that. There are still, you can still be part of the class. It's $44, very reasonable, I think, for the amount of information you're going to get and for the experience. It really is a great help to understand who you are. And according to this, that's what this is all about. Having a deeper understanding of your true nature and living from that place. Have yourself a wonderful portal. Be careful out there. Um, it is a very energetically um, vibrant time, and we have to know that not everybody responds to that in the same way. So give people the birth that they need and the compassion that they need even more. Take care, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Namaste.